Have you ever heard of the concept of masterminding? It might sound a little weird. Masterminding, mind you, is when you get together with people of like-mindedness and you think the same thought and share the same intention. You end up feeding off of each other and your emotions grow, your vision grows, your enthusiasm grows. It's the power of partnership, power of community. It's something you can probably observe if you have a really healthy, dynamic church environment, or if maybe you've been part of a prayer circle or something where you've gotten really excited about the outcomes you're pressing for. Occasionally you see these even just in boardroom meetings, depending on the board you work with or for. You guys might be onto something really cool, and as one person chimes in and another says something great about it, before you know it, you guys have created a new vision together. That's masterminding, okay? The leaders, the biggest leaders, the highest influencers of our world know that masterminding is essential to their success. We know, even in science in ways you can point to this, we know that groups of people who get together and meditate for a more peaceful city influence that city's crime rates. We know that people who get together and hope for healing in a hospital influence the death rate. We know that if you get people together and you share an amazing positive intention, really cool stuff happens. And essentially, I see this as being a co-creator with God. He made us in His image. He spoke and creation happens. And He designed us like Him to speak life to the world around us. So when you hang out with the right people and you share the right vision and you cultivate something amazing and wonderful and creative and good, that's masterminding. Now, many groups have gotten together over time to do this with intention, and I've had a handful of partnerships, and whether it's in my business life or with my spiritual people or other groups that I just don't know much about, so I go and hang out and see what they're up to. However, without other people involved, we really can't share the same dynamic energy, heart, emotion, vision exchange. Okay? Because we can't feel it the same. You might get excited or notice some enthusiasm or passion off of a Zoom meeting. But the dynamic of vision building and dream setting in a masterminding group is very rarely touched if you are alone. So, currently, most of us have been told to stay alone. And after a few weeks of that, you get a little bored and you realize your routine needs a little something else, and maybe you invest in whatever with your time and focus. But after months and months and months, things start to get a little kooky. It turns out that if you leave people alone, they go crazy. We actually need other people to keep us centered. We need them to protect us from our own thought process. With a multitude of counselors, there is wisdom. Okay? And the heart is very deceitful. We will trick ourselves, we will lie to ourselves. If you've ever told yourself you're unlovable or unredeemable, you know what it feels like to lie to yourself, okay? So we need other people in our life to help keep us centered and to help us really know what truth is, so that we don't go all kooky in the cabeza. Because if you just sit around and you stare at a corner, pretty soon you're talking to the shadows, man. Now, I can guarantee you that the people who are truly in control of the decision making are still masterminding. And I can tell you that if you're currently torn on which side is really the one, you aren't actually focusing on who's in control. So lately, every week, there's a new reason to feel repelled from another person, group of people, thought process. I don't really want to bring any specific examples up, primarily because I don't want to hear conflicting opinions or try to buffer them or make you feel obligated to correct me. Okay? But what I can tell you is this feels like gaslighting. I don't know if you've ever been in an unhealthy or toxic relationship, but one thing that can happen is people like to start trouble. There's this concept called triangulation. If you have a teenager, you've experienced this. They try to pitch one against the other and make you favor them. So as much as they can, they want to get two against one or have someone agree with them, start a fight, and be the hero. Okay? Right now, people are being trained to avoid each other. Subconsciously, after 3 months, these behaviors won't be thought about anymore. You will naturally stand 6 or more feet away from a person because you've already learned that that's appropriate now. Humanity needs to be together. The more that we consider our love for our brethren and our neighbor, the healthier we are in our physical body too. It is vitally important that we embrace one another. However you could calculate that that is done safely, please do it. Because if you're trying to go through this world alone, you're probably going to go a little cuckoo and you won't feel insane because there are going to be other people who agree with you and you're just going to go with them and you're on this mission and before you know it, you're so holy and righteous making all these choices and why would anybody choose anything other than what you chose? Stop it. Love your neighbor. Tend to somebody out of compassion. Get over yourself. Get over your opinion. Get over your offenses. Okay? And realize that if you're still bickering about Democratic or Republican, you're missing the point. Divided we fall. United we stand. What does united mean to you?